I'm live here at the Spokane International Airport, where if you need to travel this holiday season, here's what you need to know before arriving and to stay safe during travel.
This is going to be a tough holiday season. There's no doubt about it.
As college students head home for the holidays, universities are giving guidance on how to best handle the rest of the semester.
A shift in the weather pattern brings an end to some of our scattered showers, and that is shaping up to bring us a great weekend ahead.
Experts say traditional turkeys are out and charcuterie boards are in.
I'm about to slice this Toscano.
Up ahead, we are showing you how to spice up your Thanksgiving spread.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Legoo, and Dana Marie McNichol.
Just ahead of 6 a.m. now on our Thursday morning. Welcome back to Up with KREM. Well, less Americans are planning to travel for Thanksgiving. If you haven't looked at your calendar, it's 1 week away. Typically, though, it is one of the busiest travel days of the year. So this morning, we want to know, what are your plans?
Yeah, are you planning to leave the area? Maybe thinking about starting a new tradition this year? Whatever you're thinking of, text it to us at 509-448-2000. We would love to see and share your comments on Up with KREM this morning.
Yeah, again, Thanksgiving now 1 week away. Talking about changes for all of us, of course, amid the pandemic. Dana Marie McNichol is live this morning at the Spokane International Airport. She'll be talking about the changes this season for travelers.
Yeah, we're going to check in with Dana Marie in just a few minutes. But first, we do want to check in with Jeremy Legoo, that Thursday morning forecast. Very important, Jeremy. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, it's always important. You got to know what to expect as you get ready to head out the door. And this morning, this is it. A little bit of cloud cover, a couple breaks in those clouds. If you're up in some higher elevations, you are going to find snow. So we're calling it scattered snow and rain early on this morning. Most places waking up dry with temps in the mid to upper 30s. Not all that bad. Spokane, we're a little cooler here at 34 degrees early on this morning. But notice what happens if you go east. You find some snow up in those mountains. Down to the south, a little bit of rain, and that's really about the extent of it. It's not overly widespread. In fact, as we scoot on through the day, expect a little bit of sunshine later on, and that's for everybody. Tomorrow we wake up cloudy and mild, and then more sunshine is in the forecast. So here's how it breaks down. Temps in the mid 30s. Later on today, we are in the mid 40s with that sun peeking out. So even though it's a little bit cooler than yesterday and a little bit cooler than what we saw back on Tuesday, it is going to start to feel a bit warmer because the sun returns. And Jen, if you like sunshine, boy, do I have the forecast for you.
Oh, I like what I'm hearing, Jeremy. Thank you so much. All right, coming up now on 6:02. Well, this morning we are tracking breaking news overnight. Police are investigating a shooting at the Centennial Hotel in Spokane. Now, it happened on North River Drive. Officers say 2 people suffered wounds. This morning they are in stable condition at the hospital. Now, right now a search is underway for the suspect, but police are not releasing any further details. We'll track this story and bring you updates here on Up with KREM. In the meantime, Thanksgiving now 1 week away. Typically, it is one of the busiest times of the year to travel. However, fewer families are expected to travel this year due to the pandemic. Dana Marie McNichol is joining us live now from the Spokane International Airport, talking about what travelers do need to be prepared for. And Dana Marie, we checked in with you about 30 minutes ago, and it looked pretty busy.
At home. That's right. The travel rush is pretty much going in waves. Right now it doesn't look too busy, but just an hour ago we had lines almost all the way down the terminal. Now, with that being said, we are just 1 week away from that busiest travel day of the year, and one of them really, like Jen said just moments ago, Americans are expected to travel less this Thanksgiving, and if Washington and Oregon governors are saying to quarantine for 2 weeks once you do return home if you are traveling this year. Now, Governor Inslee did make an announcement last week. The advisories urge the public to avoid non-essential out-of-state travel and encourage residents to stay close to home. The advisory defines essential travel as travel for work and study, economic services, health and immediate care. Just a reminder, this is a recommendation, not a mandate, and there is little way to enforce it. The Transportation Security Administration says passengers with a legitimate ticket and ID are cleared to get on an airplane, and WashDOT will not be enforcing the advisory. So, if you're planning to fly next week, a spokesperson for the Spokane Airport tells us that airport staff is taking steps to keep travelers safe. Here's what you need to know before arriving. Masks are required at the airport at all times. Masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer will be available inside the airport for free. If you haven't been to the airport in the past few months, there is a new plexiglass barrier. Those are installed in departure areas at security and customer service counters. There will also be reduced available seating in the gate area and high traffic areas that are frequently being cleaned. Now, with Thanksgiving almost here, experts are concerned about college students coming home. Research shows that more than half of transmission are from young people with asymptomatic symptoms.
What we don't want to have happen is for Thanksgiving to be an event where a whole bunch of silent spreaders, ticking time bombs, get unleashed on the nation's airports and train stations and Thanksgiving dining tables.
The Center for Disease Control Prevention has not issued any specific recommendations for the holidays for those college students. Doctors also don't want kids to go home without the flu shot. Now, preventing that from happening varies from college to college, requiring tests, offering voluntary tests, or just doing that symptoms check by themselves. And we're going to check in with Joshua Robinson back in studio. We're going to take a look at what those universities in our area and what they're planning for our students.
Yeah, Dana Marie, thank you. With 1 week until Thanksgiving, of course, student travelers are already thinking here in the Northwest about potentially heading home for the holidays. The universities across our area are reaching out to students with guidance for how they should best handle the rest of the school year. Starting with Washington State University, where local leaders in Pullman are encouraging any students who travel home for Thanksgiving to not come back to Pullman to finish the semester. WSU's Phil Weiler says students and staff on campus have taken advantage of more than 8,000 tests, including more than 400 just this past Monday. And he says numbers have dropped dramatically over the semester.
This is going to be a tough holiday season. There's no doubt about it. We're not going to be able to do the things that we traditionally do. But the way I think we need to look at it is we need to make this sacrifice this year so that we have the ability to get together with family and friends next year and years after that.
Now, WSU worked really hard this summer to shift as many of their classes online as possible, but some students needed to come back to Pullman for the semester, like students who needed to use complicated pieces of equipment or technology that they could not find anywhere else but on campus. But for the rest of the semester, he says all classes have been shifted online as well. So university leaders say if you do head home next week, stay home until the beginning of the new year. Now, coming up in our next half hour, we will take a closer look at Spokane universities and the message to students from Gonzaga and Eastern Washington University. Back to you, Dana Marie.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for that information. We do have risky holiday traditions. Most Americans are saying that have those traditions, and I'm just going to pull up that information right here and getting that on my iPad for you this morning. But we have those traditions live here. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio to get that script. Unfortunately, I don't have it here on my iPad. Joshua?
Yeah, Dana, we'll take a look at those now because they include recommendations for Americans that are skipping holiday gatherings altogether and including some of the riskiest holiday behaviors on a scale of 1 to 10. You're seeing that right now, with 1 being the lowest risk for COVID-19 and 10 the highest. So we're going to start at the low risk activities. In the 1 category is sending a letter to Santa, going out on a drive with your family to look at holiday lights. Now, if we move up to the low moderate risk category, having Thanksgiving dinner with your family or household members is considered to be a 3. Ice skating is ranked at an outdoor rink, by the way, is ranked at a 4. And traveling by plane is about a 5, which means that is considered a moderate risk. Now, we know this one is a tradition for a lot of families. Taking photos with Santa this year is ranked at a 7. That's in the moderate high risk category. Shopping in person on Black Friday or hosting a holiday party with friends or family, that's considered near the top end of the scale, both ranked at an 8. But what you're seeing on your screen right now, which is one of considered the highest risk things you can do this holiday season, is celebrate New Year's Eve at a bar or a nightclub. That is ranked at a 10. We're going to check in with Jen now for what else we have this morning.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at what the holiday will look like nationwide, plus how grade schools in our community are preparing for students to return after the holidays. We know what WSU is doing, so we're going to be talking about what Gonzaga is doing as well, Joshua. But it all comes with new restrictions here in Washington, Idaho, rolling back their reopening phase, looking to keep people safe and avoid that spike in new coronavirus cases.
Plus, we're also going to take a look at a question I think a lot of us really need to get to the bottom of. Thanksgiving dinner not complete without the traditional sides, right? Well, after the break, we're taking a look at the #1 dish in America. We'll see if we agree. Plus, Idaho's pick may be breaking the state's standards.
If you have to choose, how can you choose one? I don't know what to do, but I do know the weather, so I'm going to let you know what to expect today, tomorrow, and as we head into the weekend, coming up after the break. We'll be right back.